These are kids. It's kids. And the reason why you see drawings like that on the wall is the same reason why you see them in hospitals and in doctors where kids are going to be. And the reason that is because they are scared.
Yeah.
And it's to make the surroundings more palatable for them.
Yeah.
These kids they're not coming over here for fun.
Yeah,
They're already fleeing something unimaginable. If they're kids on their own, think about it, they're kids on their own.
Yeah.
They're already fleeing. They're already so scared as it is. And to come over here and remove that, whatever side of the political debate you fall on, whatever side that you fall on immigration or not, it comes down to basic humanity. And just have some.
Yeah, Brookie.
Thank you for listening to Talking to Our Souls, or to put it another way, to Talking Arseholes. This podcast is for entertainment purposes only and may deal with adult topics and adult themes.
Brownstown, we're with you when you fight. Brownstown, bark with the dogs tonight. Brownstown, Cleveland is right behind you.
Bum, Tish. It's us again, talking to our souls on this, the 10th day of July. And I'm so glad that I can remind myself that I have to put the black bin out tomorrow. So here I am, Steve Hen, and over there we have...
It's Boris. He cares about the old people, the lying bastard, Mr. Singh.
I have...
Yo.
What? Right. The thing is, we shouldn't be talking about Boris, right? We shouldn't, but we always are. And I'm not saying us, as in you and me. I mean, he seems to manage to get his ugly little head. That's not sexual. Into anything that might be, but like when we, this. Mind you, to be fair, it's either him or Farage this week. What a bunch of. So I didn't actually hear that though. I've been out all day and I came back late. So what has Bodger said?
Well, I accidentally, I know you like people who listen to this. Accidentally was looking at the Daily Mail.
Okay,
right?
I thought you were going to say watching TV news.
Well, yeah, I mean, I might get a bit of reputation here, looking at right-wing media. I do look at all types of media, but just by chance, I was like, ended up looking at the Daily Mail. And the first thing that popped at me was, obviously because Boris got a new job with him, hasn't he? The articulate bastard he is. And he's put there, he's concerned about the ULEZ charge of £12.50 because 80-year-olds will be charged and won't be able to go to church.
Just 80-year-olds, not 65-year-olds, or he picked.
He said
on
over 80-year-olds,
or did he say octogenarians?
Unless he's thinking about his dad.
Right. Okay. There's two things I want to pick up on that. Right. I did. One was the age. Right. I think it doesn't matter who pays £12.50. Some people will not be able to afford the £12.50, and I get that. But because is that what he's saying? Is he saying that old people can't afford it, whereas young people can?
I imagine it's people saying that they're probably retired, aren't they? It's extra cost to go to church.
Yeah, but there's a load of people in London over 60, over 80 with more money than young people.
He's probably thinking he probably killed most of them during the pandemic. So they're on his mind, aren't they?
They're always on his mind. Do you know, more older people died in the pandemic in London than anywhere else in the country. We might have to fact check this.
Whatever he didn't help it.
I still feel there's a lot of people between 16 and 80 who can't afford the £12.50. But what the fuck has church got to do with it?
Yeah. What about the temples? What about the mosque, eh?
I was going to say there's got to be a lot of 80-year-old Muslims
He's writing for the Daily Mail. He's probably thinking
Yeah.
there's no immigrants reading that paper. Obviously, he's not aware of me.
Not yet.
I look at all media. I read the Mirror. I refuse to look at the Beano, even though it has some similarities with the Daily Mail.
The mental age.
Yeah. Boris. I just want him to go away.
This is the thing, though. You just went Boris, and shook your head. It's like a tick. Every time people mention Boris now, they're going to go Boris. And I think that's what we should do. We should just make it a tick. So every time you mention that arsehole's name, I feel more comfortable now calling him an arsehole.
I can think of plenty of words that can.
Oh no, I used to call him a cunt.
And I hope my choice of language now isn't an affront, but the fact remains I'm just the same. I'm still a fucking cunt.
He's still a cunt.
Cunt.
He's still a cunt.
Cunt.
He's still a cunt. He's still a cunt. He's still a cunt.
But I feel that arsehole is a little easier because he's just an arsehole now. Because he really has less power. Although he probably has more power with a lot of the older people and the conservative base.
It's like it's the cult of Boris, isn't he?
Yeah.
You know how like everyone, all these MPs, basically the ones that he tried to get into the House of Lords, right? He's like, he does it with the women that he's been with. Somehow he's like this cult figure, and he makes people fall in love with him. So he's women and certain conservative people, there's something about him, that people want to drop their underwear for. He's like the Tom Jones of the Conservative Party.
That's not unusual. You're talking about this woman, aren't you?
I know nothing.
She knows nothing.
He definitely knows nothing.
I know nothing.
She still didn't she resign even before we knew the results of Boris's committee hearing. She resigned. She said, "I'm going to resign now," and she's still there.
Yeah, she's threatened to resign, and then she obviously waiting for the right moment, isn't she? I think she's waiting for. She might be waiting to see the results of these other by-elections before she does it.
But she has to go. But I think it's unfair on her. Like, do you know who your MP is?
No.
I know who my MP is, and she's a waste of time, right? So it wouldn't really make a difference if I used my MP as an example. But if you were, let's say, that Nadine Dorries was both our MPs, she's done nothing in the last 24 days for her constituent in Mid-Bedfordshire. And that's ridiculous. She should, she's not even turned up at the House, apparently. But she's been on GB News every night. Is she on GB News or is she on Talk?
No, Talk.
I know nothing.
I had one time, we had an MP, our local MP. He helped us out a few years ago. It's going back when I was in my 20s.
That's a few fucking decades, people.
And then he got voted out and then they brought in a Conservative person. So I phoned up this Conservative person. I was on the email, I emailed him. I can't remember, I phoned him, emailed him. The response I got was, he spends most of his time in the House of Parliament, and he won't be able to help you with this request. Piece of shit. Oh, the MP came back, and when he came back, I emailed him because they tried to deport my mum. Right?
Really?
Really? Yeah. She got a national insurance number.
Okay.
She had an Indian passport, and she married my dad, who was a British passport holder in the 70s, and she had the right to remain. But she lost the passport. But she had the stamp in the passport. They tried to screw us over. So I contacted the MP. I can't help you with this matter. Maybe you should get a solicitor.
When was that?
Like 10 years ago. 10 years ago. But it was the same MP who helped us initially. But because he got back in and said Mustangan, he just didn't give a shit.
That's terrible. But if she's got a national insurance number, I mean, a passport isn't the be-all and end-all if you've got a national insurance number, is it?
What happened was, she came back from India, they took the passport off us, the one that was replaced, right? And she goes, "That's not your passport." But they held her up at the airport, so she was worrying. She tried to did her best to explain. They let her through and gave her a letter. So we had to try to get another passport. But then when we applied for a residency, they said, no, you're not a resident of the UK. The MP didn't help. We got a solicitor. And this is how much bastards they are, right, at immigration. This place in Birmingham, this was. We're giving all the evidence, right? National insurance number, pay slips, worked for the council. Yeah. How many years, right? She has a right to vote. Right, and whether it took, luckily you got this lister, and he knew what he was doing. So I went there, interviewed my mum, right, and I looked at all her statements, bank statements and stuff, right, and they're saying you haven't got sufficient evidence to show that you've been in the country. There's a gap here for like 2 or 3 months, and your bank statement. How do you know you was in the country? You haven't got sufficient evidence, and me being ignorant to it, oh okay. So if I prove that, he went, yeah. Solicitor goes, no. He jumped in. He goes, you're being racist. He goes, she's given you 20 odd years, 30 odd years of evidence that she stayed in this country. And you're trying to get her out based upon a gap where she hasn't used a bank for like a certain period of time and say she was in the country. That's racist. You're trying to deport her. And he had a real go at them. And then they came back and says, oh, it's okay. You can have, yeah, you can, yeah, you've got your residency.
But you shouldn't be going through that, though. That's just fucking horrible. I'm sorry, but I am sorry, but
that's what. Talk about Windrush. That's what that was. Similar to that. It's trying to get the numbers down. The nasty bastards.
I really wanted to talk about Robert Jenrick. Now, you don't know who Robert Jenrick is, do you?
I don't know.
He's a Conservative MP for Newark, and he is the Minister of State for Immigration. He went to visit one of the migration centres for children in Brighton, and he was in there, and it looks like this. It's got pictures of Tom and Jerry and Mickey Mouse on the walls.
Mm-hmm.
And he went in and he was looking around. He goes, we should paint those cartoon characters off the wall, because that makes it far too welcoming for these children that are fleeing persecution. So they painted over it the other day, and he was trying to deny it. And I think that we should just keep mentioning Robert Jenrick so people know. Because it wasn't even for publicity. He did it just because he could. It's not like for Suella, who likes to do it for red meat so everyone loves her. He just didn't want, and it's not going to affect anything. People aren't going to go, oh, I'm not going there if they hate us that much.
He probably wants a line for racists as a walk in. Fuck off, you little bastards! Go back to your own country. Probably, give them a choice, they'll probably end up doing that, wouldn't they?
Who, the people in Brighton, or just racists in general?
He put jobs up. We're looking to deter immigrants.
Children.
And we would
it's not immigrant. It's children.
We like to deter immigrant children, so we're looking for people to abuse them as they walk into the centre. I'll do that.
Yeah. But the thing is, the reason they're there as well is the staff ask them what their life has been like beforehand to ascertain whether or not they've been abused. It's horrible. It's a horrible thing to do. The one thing you should do, it doesn't matter where you're from or what's happening, you don't treat children. Why deny them that? I just don't get it. Robert Jenrick. That's all I wanted to do. I just wanted to keep mentioning his fucking name. I hate him. Hate him.
I keep saying it. If I could, I would just leave this country. I'll follow Nigel on the dinghy over to France.
Have you changed your mind about poor Nigel not having any money now? As because he is poor.
There's more to it, isn't there? It seems there's something going on there, isn't there? He's kicked off though again because he's saying why are they? Apparently they contacted the BBC and told him
no,
he had less than £1 million.
No,
something like that.
No,
No.
No. Right. You're a journalist and I'm Coots. Ask me about Nigel Farage.
How's Nigel Farage got a bank with you?
We can direct you to our website. And that's all they did. They directed this journalist to the website, which says you need to have a minimum of £1 million investments or £3 million in, I want to say capital. I don't know what that means. So they just directed him, the journalist, to the website. Everything's on the website. So they didn't divulge anything about Nigel Farage.
You sure?
I'm pretty sure, from what I've heard. If you're listening to what Nigel says, then I do feel Nigel has a reputation for being a bit of a porky-pier. And I don't mean fat.
It wasn't Nigel. It was GB News.
Well, no, GB, no. Well, if it's on a reputable news channel who check their sources 3 times and haven't been in trouble in the last 3 weeks for saying bollocks, not the word, the information, then that's all well and good. Aaron Grimes,
Robert Jenrick.
Robert Jenrick. That's too good for Robert Jenrick. He could swivel on that and quite enjoy it. Well, Coots obviously said, we direct you to our website. And said that since 2011 as well. That changed from 500,000 to 1 million.
I think the Chancellor's getting involved apparently now. It's more than him. There's other people getting their bank accounts.
But you know why that is? People haven't got as much money as they used to. Thing with Coots, and I would love to bank with Coots, right? Apparently, I heard a story on the radio today. This girl, it was a teacher, and he wanted credit cards or something to pay for a trip or something. And this girl brought in a Coots check. And he said, I need your bank card and details. And she laughed at him. And she said, that's the Queen's Bank. The check is good enough. And I think that's what makes Nigel a bit pissed, because it's such a good bank to be with if you're rich. It makes you, it opens a lot of doors for you. And I think that's what's upsetting. Yeah, I think that's what's upsetting him most, because he could. There's still 350 banks he could try, and he can have an NatWest, which is part of Coots. Just doesn't sound as good.
I was watching GB News, and the just random people coming at the Coots Bank. What do you think about Nigel Farage not having a bank? And he's like, I'm a customer here.
Yeah.
Obviously, there's some staff coming out, and they
shouldn't say anything, quiet. Should they? Because you'd lose your job, would you not?
God.
Mm. What? God? What?
God. I wonder if God banks there. Is God good enough for them?
I see. Now, here we go. Existentially, does God need money?
The church and that's not what church, but all religious
people.
I was going to say
Popies, like the Popies and the
yeah the religion. I don't know what you call them. The
leaders.
The hierarchy of religions. They because they're charities, they get loads of money, don't they? So they need money to.
And young boys. I was quite proud of that. I was horrified. Not all religious leaders, not just the Catholics. I'd better cut that, otherwise we'll be in trouble. If I win the lottery, I will put all my money in at Coots. Although, I don't... when was the last time you used a cheque? I only want it for a chequebook. Everything else is online. It's pointless.
It does annoy me when people say, here's my bank details. If you're going to send some cash, it's like a 5 or a tenner or for a collection. I'm thinking, for fuck's sake,
Years ago, before I did online banking, I'd get paid a lot of cash, and I used to love buying everything with cash. And I'd have boxes full of receipts, boxes and boxes. And then when I had an online bank account, I stopped using. I use cash now and again, but my boxes of receipt got smaller and smaller each year. They were getting smaller and smaller because digitally, you know where everything is, and I love the fact that digitally, I love everything. And then the pandemic came, and everything had to be contactless because you didn't want to put grubby money in other people's hands. And now
I got kicked out of the strip joint.
Why?
You used to make a right bloody mess with all the change dropping on the floor.
I'm not convinced, right? Regular viewers will believe that you went to a strip club, considering the dirty looks you give me whenever I go anywhere near sexuality. But
no, I haven't been.
I was at a pub once when I was about 18 and a couple of strippers came in. My mate. And I thought I was quite ignorant in the sexual department because I was still a virgin. And the lad next to me, I don't think he was. Lofty. And this girl comes up and they're in their bra and panties. There's two of them dancing. And she comes up and she points like that to her neck where her bra is tied up, right? And my mate starts to undo her necklace that she was wearing. I'm thinking, get on board, mate. Even I know you're going to take the clothes off.
Maybe he's trying to nick a necklace. He thought,
I think that's what she thought, because I think she smacked his hand. She didn't get to me, though, to do it. I'd have. I can do it with one hand. Remove a bra. Not that.
Oh, okay. All right. Okay.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Only because I used to wear them. Pantomime Dame. I did want to say this week that I was very pleased with Labour and their oracy. Is that how you say it?
Oracy.
Horsey?
Oracy. Well, like oracy. Don't you stop. Just let your feet go clippity clop.
Oracy.
Horsey?
Don't you stop.
Horsey?
Yeah, it's about it's how people talk. It's helping young people to hold a debate or conversation, which is important, I think.
I think young people should not be heard.
Now that is a good point. I have to agree. I mean, I'm a big advocate for education and children, but I'm also a big advocate of shut up. Mummy and Daddy are talking. Mummy and Mummy are talking. Daddy and Daddy are talking. Big advocate of that.
Young people don't know they're bored these days.
But no, I am actually quite pleased that oracy could be becoming a thing in the future. Nay, oracy.
Horsey?
Nay, oracy. But
Horsey?
Nay. Because I do think the arts would really help people, like drama, music, singing. Do you know what I mean? I think it would be good. I think it would be a good thing for the future. So I'm saying, well done, Keir Starmer, because he's quite good at oracy.
Horsey?
The thing is, though, because he's a good speaker, he sends me to sleep. So maybe it's not such a good idea.
He's a boring twat. And he's a poor man's Tony Blair.
That's two people that really make me wince. I don't know if I think that's unfair on Tony Blair, and I think it's unfair on Keir Starmer, but I don't know in what way. Because I would hate to be called a poor man's Tony Blair, and I'd hate to be called Keir Starmer.
Yeah, oxymoron then. Have I used that in the right context?
Yeah, because you're talking to me.
Yeah. Horsey?
So, join us again next week when we talk exclusively from our souls.
Cleveland is right behind you.
Hey, thanks for listening to the show. We hope you enjoyed it. Please like, subscribe and share this because it will help us. And don't forget to tune in next week, 8 p.m. Mondays. Ta-ra! So